Hello, those interested and concerned. Greetings again. So, on the internet, maybe when I met Syed Yusuf Zaidi, um, I thought I had met this good person that I used to pray for to meet in London. God, please send me a good person. And in London, I had bought this book, The Last Barrier, by Rashid Field. He tells his story how he met a Sufi master and how it transformed his life. But the Sufi master was sometimes very strict. So Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi told me that Hazrat Fatima Zahra Salam Allah Alaiha had made him her son, or that he was her son. And because of this, I was really excited. And I thought he is a really good person. But I didn't know that I was going to be tested thoroughly. There were times I used to tell him, I'm nothing, just throw me in the garbage. And but then why would I get upset with him when he would say, you are mad, or not understand? Because he told me I said you were mad in at something else and in a different manner. So on one hand, I was telling him I'm nothing. So a nothing person is nothing, should not be hurt. But I started to expect that this person will not pull my strings and be very gentle with me. When I thought that I was being given importance, I would say that I'm nothing, don't give me importance. But what I didn't think was someone would pull my weakest strings and make me mad. For instance, there's a reason why I didn't want to tell Mrs. Munira Gulzar that how I feel for her, and that I can't live without her, and all those things could take. I even told myself my desires can take a back seat, or no, they can be in the diggy of the car where the luggage and all are kept. So I really don't know if I met a great person, a dervish, a true believer. However, after losing my mind and everything, my everything, Mrs. Munira Gulzar and my mother and my mental health. Hopefully one day I could, what happened to Rashid Field in the end, in his book The Last Barrier, with Muji Baba now on the YouTube and Facebook, I can truly, with every part of my being, become nothing. Egoless life. Now that my principal is 86 years old and I have no chance, very, very little chance of meeting her ever. And so I'm compelled, cornered at the edge of my life. Unfortunately, when she was alive, we could not be together and do some service for the world. At least our area, my old area, the things that I wished that if I was with the principal to do, maybe it wasn't meant to be like that. I still have difficulty believing or accepting that it wasn't meant to be with the principal and doing service for people, like, becoming like family friends and then helping out and enjoying each other's company, as well as bringing joy to others. And why should Mrs. Munira Gulzar see me broken and shattered and down on bended knees, begging her to be with me when she doesn't want to be with me? Perhaps like what Yusuf Zaidi told me, that his female cousin, was getting calls from her, this person who was attached to her, and didn't like to talk to her, but she was obliged politely talking to her. So in this, my ego got hurt. I have an ego with Mrs. Munira Gulzar, and never had an ego with Miss Asteria Dessa. No, it wasn't that. It was just that I didn't want to trouble Mrs. Munira Gulzar or ask from her anything that she doesn't want to give me. About the ego, the grace of God comes, and our minds become settled in a good place. Like I would hide my sufferance from my parents, family members. I wouldn't like Mrs. Munira Gulzar to see me suffer. Likewise, Mrs. Munira Gulzar would not like me or want me to see her suffer. So if I didn't have an ego, by the grace of God, to the extent of arrogance and rebelliousness, as I would love that my eyes lie low before love and the beloved. So then why would I feel at times that this Syed Yusuf Zaidi was pulling me down, and I could no longer trust him? In fact, I started to think that he is against Shia Islam. He is a hidden spy or something, and that he is a terrorist. And what happened was that I couldn't leave Mrs. Munira Gulzar, as I had prayed and meditated upon, so much that I would kindly, nicely, respectfully leave her when she doesn't want me to see her. Like I told her, whenever you don't want me, just throw me out of the window. I mean, give me no reasons. I had so much faith back then because of what I had left behind by the grace of God, sent to me through a little girl in my dream, bread given to her by Bibi Maryam alayhi salam to give me. So, but when Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi came and all the internet stuff, I thought signs were coming. They were pulling me down, ripping me off the grace of God that I had received from Bibi Maryam alayhi salam in my dream through a girl. And so I don't know what was happening Now they were spiritually beating my head and my body, and very obnoxious dreams and feelings were being thrown. Feelings were thrown at me, and perverted, obnoxious dreams coming. So for me not to be beaten in my body, I once prayed and thought of that verse that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is closer to us than our own selves or souls. So I was saying, Ya Rasulullah, be in my soul, and so that I feel some rest in my body and not the pressure and all that stuff I was feeling. Terrible. And I slept, and then I saw in my dream that there were snakes crawling inside of my body. So I woke up very, very shocked. So I'm now going to say this from my Shia Marsiya, especially on the night of Ashura. This is recited and shown on television also. Salam un pe jinko sharam khai jati hai. Very, very bad things were coming. I could not imagine the perversion, obnoxiousness, and then feeling that Mrs. Munira Gulzar is watching me. So, oh my God, that was like, suffering, and then covering myself under the covers, and then feeling under my skin, feeling her, and then reciting this prayer. This Noha, Syed Sajjad hai aur zulm ki zanjeer hai. I literally had to recite this, remembering inside, Sar utha ke raah mein Maula, mere chalte ho kyun nahi. Sorry, I just can't say it properly. Samne kya sar barehna, Zainabe dilgir hai. The energy was putting a lot of shame, torturing me, and then making me feel that Mrs. Munira Gulzar is under my skin and watching me. So, of course, you would not want your loved one to be watching you suffering restlessly in agony, misery. So this is one of the tortures I was constantly at times, on and off, going through. And since I had this dream that Bibi Zainab has told Imam Ali alayhi salam that my help is necessary, so Imam Ali alayhi salam is telling Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in this dream I had that Bibi Zainab has told Imam Ali alayhi salam that to help Zahra, it is necessary. So I got this sacred thread, which was from a tabut, sacred tabut of 3 holy ladies of ours from Karbala who suffered, Bibi Sukaina, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, on both. And I think the 3rd lady was Kulsum alayhi salam, I'm not sure. And I wore that thread, but even then, this torturing, obnoxious feelings and dreams coming, and like I'd be attacked, and breathing of men, heavy breathing and snoring. And then I would recite that Noha in which it conveys that how long Bibi Zainab Salam Allah Alaiha was standing outside the darbar of Yazid or Ibn Ziyad. No, Kufa, where her father once was a caliph there, Hazrat Ali alayhi salam. So all this I withstood, hoping to meet my principal and feeling her and believing that since I cannot let go of her, that God wished and willed that we stay together. And something really great will come out of this relationship and true love. And they wouldn't let me be at peace in my own house, in my own room, privacy, for so many years. Like I was living with an enemy, sleeping with an enemy. So when, I don't know, there was a lot of bodily aches and pressure on me. So I came to Dubai from Karachi, and I once even asked my brother that if he has an apartment where I could stay for free for some time to get out of this, that they were sending me. I cannot believe this. I went through the distance, mind control, articles, Google search, through Google search and all that. It was too much for me to take. I was in great trauma, and I had panic attacks and nervous shocks, as I said earlier. So when they would send me these voices of Mrs. Munira Gulzar, I thought, this is it, I would lose myself completely to mental, total, maybe go into a coma or something. God forbid that she's being raped and her voice is coming. I mean, I could not take Mrs. Munira Gulzar coughing. And in college, I had asked her, I had snatched ice cream away from her because she had told me once that she was on the borderline of diabetes and maybe cholesterol too. And I also wanted to snatch away her this pills that she was take extra for her for a relaxant she was taking for her high blood pressure. So why couldn't love, a loving relationship? We have neighbors. Jesus Christ has said, love thy neighbor as thyself. We could have made such a great thing out of, as Muslims, as loving beings, devoted, dedicated to not only our work, but the wayfarer we meet along the way, our neighborhood, our family members. Like we're told in Islam that some of us believe that if we have guests coming to our house, the guests bring angels to our house, like extra angels coming to our house, and when they eat with us, there are lots of blessings in that, barakats. And our religion has already, we've already subdued our mind, our egos. So now we need to improve on our society, in our society, our the quality of life, like His Highness Aga Khan has been doing, and his followers, his murids are doing. The ego stage is over for us. The believers and the Muslims should be helping one another, improving quality of life, and so being good for one another. Like, for example, when I saw that beggar little girl begging, I later on, when if I had become close to the principal, I would have taken steps to stop this and get shelter and proper, living way for these beggars that have now come into Soldier Bazaar. There were times when I would meet my beloved Mrs. Munira Gulzar and send something to Mehfil Shia Khurasan for the poor people. And then I made it a point, whenever I went, and my driver would send my driver to Mehfil Shia Khurasan. But I was told that there is a witch who doesn't want Mrs. Munira Gulzar to come to my house. And there's something put in my house that is very, very heavy, and Mrs. Munira Gulzar will not be able to come to my house. I was even told that this person could give me a taweez or some prayer to wear, but that I would not be able to wear it. I will take it out or throw it away. So I had this feeling that basically my religion had, by the grace of God, done this work on me to have tamed somewhat my ego. And Mrs. Munira Gulzar was a very humble person. And to have good manners, living compassionately and with an understanding heart, helping, being of service to our family, community, all those who came our way. So this is what I had wished for. If I was to spend my days blessed with Mrs. Munira Gulzar.